Liars. You're all liars. I mean no offense by that, but it's true. If anybody's recently asked you, how are you? You more than likely just responded with a quick good. Even if you have exams or projects or relationship problems or family issues or health concerns, you mask it with the word good. All of these can be described by a single word: stress. And today, I'm going to tell you why stress is a problem. Why stress is a problem, why it can't easily be fixed, and ultimately give my solution to easing the stress problem. It's well known that college students are busy, but it's crazy to think about just how busy we are. You've likely seen the Pick 2 triangle that says college students can only have two of the following three things: good grades, enough sleep, or a good social life. But let's think about that for a second. You spend about 3 hours a day in class, and every class you have requires an hour of work per day outside of class. There goes your 8 hours for class, just like that. If you want to get enough sleep, let's say 8 hours, there goes another 8 hours. That leaves you with 8 hours to do everything else you want to do in a day. Hygiene, relationships, extracurriculars, jobs, food, nights out, Netflix addictions, deep talks. All of these are limited to 8 hours a day. This leaves college students feeling beyond overwhelmed and overly stressed. And it happens to most college students. According to an Associated Press report, 85% of college students report feeling stressed at some point over a semester. And 1 in 10 of these stressed students are stressed to the point where they debate suicide. But these numbers don't mean anything until it happens to you. While I never got to the point where I debated suicide, I did have a very public breakdown. It was about a year and a week ago from today. I had a baseball game, but I had so much more on my mind than the baseball game. I had no idea where I wanted to attend college, and I had a Calc 3 test the next day I was almost certainly going to fail. I didn't even know people were asking me what I wanted to do with my life, but I didn't even know what I wanted for breakfast the next day. I was reaching a breaking point. My breaking point came 2 or 3 innings into that game, after a horrific call by one of the umpires. I slowly started to lose it, and a couple tears started rolling down my cheeks. My dad saw these tears and became irate, yelling at me that there was no place for tears in the ball field. In that moment, I absolutely lost it. I turned, took about 10 steps back, and just started sobbing on the baseball field in front of everybody. It was the greatest thing that could have happened to me. People became more aware and started seeking to help me. People wanted to spend time with me and help me feel more comfortable, and I was incredibly appreciative of that. I could answer, "How are you?" with more than just a simple "okay," and actually talk about my problems. It was fantastic, but it didn't last. A big problem with countering stress nowadays is the large social norm of people not talking. Just talking to others could help people get the support, reassurance, or assistance they need to combat their stress. But nowadays we save conversations like that for only our closest of friends. We grow up on a principle of being polite and not forcing our problems upon to others, which leads us to bottling up more and not letting it be known that we're stressed. If you answer "how are you" in more than just a few words, you often realize that people get very annoyed and think you're giving too much information. This results with us not sharing and instead just dumping all of our problems onto our closest friends. However, in order to avoid looking needy, once you talk about your problems once, you avoid doing it for another couple of weeks. So, unless you have a bunch of close friends, you end up bottling stuff up, and this leads to communication issues, which in turn leads to more stress, which is all a part of a deadly cycle with no escape in sight. According to a USA Today report, college grads today, the number one most important skills in college grads today are people skills, and the number 3 most important skills are oral communication skills. 52% of these college grads lack the people skills, while 41% lack the oral communication skills. We don't have the ability to read people and express our inner thoughts, i.e., realize people are stressed and talk about our stress. This results in built-up stress and a continuation of the aforementioned deadly cycle. So how do we beat this deadly cycle? If you go to the university, they'll likely tell you either to go to the counseling and psychiatric services or just to obtain healthier habits, such as good time management. But if that was all it took, stress would be a problem of the past. I think we need a much simpler, yet much more grandiose solution. I think we need to break a social norm. We need to be open. We need to move from a tendency to bottle up to a tendency to share. We need to become accustomed to discussing our problems and listening to others. Just simply discussing our problems prevents bottling up and improves our communication skills, which results in us, which helps us combat the stress cycle. By doing simple things like having genuine conversation and just stating your thoughts, you help yourself feel healthier and feel more relaxed. So with that being said, I want to leave you guys with 2 things that have been on my mind. A quote and a plea. The quote from author Shannon L. Alder goes like this: "Your words will either give you joy or give you sorrow, but if they were spoken without regret, they give you peace." My plea to you: live peacefully. Be open. Thank you very much.